Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic on April the 1st, which is an exciting day for a variety of reasons, the main one of which people will associate with April Fool's Day. Now, despite it being April Fool's Day, I'm not fooling when I say the most exciting thing about April the 1st is that it's the first day of a new month, and that means we release a Sudoku hunt on Patreon, and that has happened today. It's called Dangerous to Know. It's available on Patreon. Please check it out. I'm sure we'll have had correct solutions in by the time this video comes out, and we think you'll enjoy it dramatically. There is some villainy afoot, and you need to solve it and save us all. So please check that out. Until the 20th, we'll be running a competition for a prize, and after that, you can solve it for fun. Now, it is April Fool's Day. I don't often recommend that you look at my Wordle in a minute video, but I suggest you do tomorrow. It might amuse you. It might not. We've got a puzzle sent to us as well by Analytical Ninja today called What a Twist, which he has recommended we have a go at today. Now, if you like Analytical Ninja's puzzles, and who doesn't, do check out the deluxe edition of the Fog of War ebook, which is available now on the link under the video. And Analytical Ninja has contributed one of the puzzles in the deluxe edition, a brilliant fog puzzle, the like of which you've rarely seen before. And I recommend that. Also, as with all of our apps, which are available in the links under the video, Sven's SUDOKU PAD, which has its own April Fool going on, and our merch. So do check all of those out, and yeah, good fun always on the channel and the links. But what is going on in this puzzle? Well, let's just do the rules of this supposedly, well, I mean, I always suppose that a 6x6 puzzle ought to take less time than a 9x9 puzzle. That is often a very rash assumption, and we will see from the rule set that there is something different going on in this puzzle. So, what are the rules? Well, normal 6x6 rules apply, which means we're placing 1 to 6 in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box of the grid. However, none of the other clues are necessarily what you would expect. Digits on an arrow have the difference between them in the digit of the attached circle. So the difference between those two cells is in that circle. So the circle is not the total, it's the difference of the digits on the arrow. The inequality symbol, I mean, the only trick about this is it's not a V in this puzzle, it's an inequality symbol. And it's pointing, as it were, to the lower digit. So if you use an inequality symbol in maths, you will understand that that is higher than that. Now, on the indicated diagonals, these are not sums of the diagonals, they are look and say clues. So this is saying that there are 2 6s on that diagonal, and there's 1 5 on that one. And finally, we've got a blue region difference line, not a region sum line. Digits along the blue line must have the same difference within each box it passes through. So the difference of those two cells is the same as the difference of those two, and the same as the difference of those two. I'm very glad it doesn't hit 3 cells in any one box, because I wouldn't know what that meant. Anyway, that is the twisted puzzle we have waiting for us today. You can check the video length to see how hard I found it, although I did once prank my audience on April Fool's Day by leaving the camera running for about 45 minutes after I'd solved a fairly quick puzzle. I'm probably not going to do that today. We will see. Let's get cracking, if we possibly can. So how do we use this difference rule? Okay, the first answer is I don't know at all. Okay, I do know something. 6 cannot be a difference in any of the circles, because that would require one of the arrow cells to be a 7, and we're not allowed that, at least a 7. So 6 in the top row goes in one of those 2 cells. Then in this row, it goes in one of those 3 cells. It's not on the lower end of the inequality, so it is on an arrow. Is that helpful? No, is my first answer. I mean, it's very unsurprising that 6 is on an arrow. Indeed, 6 being on an arrow somewhere in these cells is the only thing that allows 5 potentially to get in a circle. And if 5 doesn't get in a circle, that's a 6-5 pair. If 5 does get in a circle, we need a 6 somewhere in these cells and a 1 on its same arrow. I don't know, this digit is 5, 4, 3 or 2. It can't be lower than 2 because of this digit below it. It can't be higher than 5 for the reasons we've already expounded. Okay, do the look and say clues do anything? This one, I don't think the 1, 5 does anything. That's so useless at the moment, I'm not even going to consider it. But we do need 2 6s. Ah, okay. We can have 1 6 on this arrow. We can't have 2. We can't have a 6 there. Ah, we can't have a 6 in this cell because of this 2 possible positions for 6 in box 1. If that's a 6, that can't be a 6, or the difference would be 0, which is not a Sudoku digit. And if that's a 6, that can't be a 6 for normal Sudoku rules. So that's not a 6. Okay, and that's not a 6. So now we've got 4 available cells for 6 on this diagonal. And there are certain pairs of these that don't work. It can't be that pair because they're both in the same box. That's very obvious. Now, I also think it can't be that pair. And that's for a slightly more arcane reason. That would also put 6 on the north end of this, in fact, specifically at the top. Yeah, look, you couldn't have 6 there and 6 there because that would be a 6. And the problem with that is the difference line. These 3 digits would all have to be the same, and 2 of them clash. 6 minus x equals y is always going to be the same x, because y stays the same. So x would be in all of those 3 cells and would cause a clash. So that pair is not possible. This line is more interesting than I'd realised at first. So what have we worked out? The 2 6s in yellow can't be there and there, and they can't be there and there. Now if I could work out that they can't be there and there, for some reason, that would be a 6. Isn't this the same problem? No, I'm wrong. Why would that be a 6? It would be a 6. Look, if 6 was there and there, the 6 in the top row would have to be there. And now 6 would be on this line, and we'd have exactly the same problem. Oh, that's lovely. The same problem because those 2 digits would have to be exactly the same. Because n, 6 minus n on the blue line is always going to be the same digit. So, I think I've now worked out that can't be the pair of 6s, that can't be the pair of 6s, and that can't be the pair of 6s, and therefore this is never a 6. Oh. I thought that was going to be really, really helpful, and suddenly I don't think it is. Because now I've got 3 yellow cells that can be 6s. And unless I can rule out this pair as being a 6, I haven't actually advanced. Okay, let's think about what happens if that pair is a 6. We get a 6 there. Now, on this line, the same digit will go in those 2 positions, and it will also go in those, but that is not invalidating the line, because say this digit was a 4, then the difference would be 2, and you could put 2 and 4 up on the chimney on the north end of the blue line. Ah, okay, but the difference, the n on the blue line would have to be small enough to allow there to be different ways of making it up with the same digit, even if that digit wasn't a 6. Oh my goodness, okay. So I'm now positing the situation that these two yellows are the same, are the 6s on the 26 line. This is the only way you avoid having a 6 on this arrow. This is really interesting, by the way. Also, one of those has to be a 6. Okay, what I'm actually going to do next is not what I was talking about. I'm going to colour green the cells in this puzzle. Well, not green, let's do light blue. The cells that can't be a 6, because I've been finding that quite interesting. At least one of those is a 6. So any cell they both see can't be a 6 now. So we've got all of these blue cells that can't contain 6. So now 6 has to be in one of these two cells. Can it possibly be there? Then 6 would be here. Yeah, actually that's fine. Okay, I don't know about that. Right, I'm thinking about the possibility of these two being the two 6s, which for some reason I think won't happen. Now that would be a 6. Oh, and this would be a 6 because 6 wouldn't be appearing again on the 2, 6 diagonal. 6 can't go in the circle, so that would be a 6 and that would be a 6. We would definitely have that pattern of 6s if 6 appeared twice on the bottom end of the blue line. Ah, look what would happen. Right. I'm going to letter that. Sorry, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to letter that A in the corner. Because if that's a pair of 6s, 6s appear in the cells marked A, and I just want to know where that was in case I get an overlap if I try a different pair of 6s. The trouble is I have 3 sets of pairs in this 2, 6 diagonal to go on. And again, if I'm missing something much more straightforward, I apologise, but this feels complicated to me. And I've just seen something that's very interesting. Now, I told you that the n on this line would have to be 1 or 2. Or if I didn't, I'm telling you now. If these two 6s, if these two yellows were 6, because these digits would have to be exactly the same. That digit would have to appear up here, and it would have to have a difference with another digit that was the same difference as with 6. So you could do that with a difference on the line of 1 or 2, but not 3. If it was 3, that would be a 3 going into all of these areas, and 3 would have to have another 6 up at the top where it couldn't. So the difference of 1, I'm just going to show that is impossible now for a rather brilliant reason, and that is because you would need 5s in those cells. And now pause the video if you're wondering why is that impossible and see if you can work it out. And the answer is because of this 1, 5 diagonal. If you had 5s in those two cells, the purple cells, every single cell on this diagonal would be ruled out from being a 5. Which is lovely and almost certainly definitely deliberate. So the difference, which has to be 1 or 2, is now 2. These purples would become 4s. This pair would be a 4-2 pair. Now that is possible, and I think it might be the right solution. And that would be a 6. What's going on here? We'd have a 4-2 pair. We'd have 4s in purple. Oh. So that would be a 4. This would be a 6 in this A version. And that would be a 2. So we'd know which way round 4 and 2 went. That would be a 2. That would be a 2. I mean, I don't know. That probably is the way we're going to go. So maybe I should think about the alternatives. So if this was a 6 in the final grid, so there's only 1 here. Well, which one? Let's try that pair. Then you get 6 here. That would have to be a 6 now, because we're only putting 1 6 on the blue line, bottom section. Okay, what happens with this version? We've sort of got an X-wing of remaining 6s, I think. But never mind about those. If we've got 6s in these blue line positions, we get the same digit in those and also up there. And it's the same issue again, because this has to be a 5 or a 4, and it can't be a 5. These two positions are just the same as the purple cells in ruling 5 out of all of those. So these would have to be 4s. And that would be a 4-2 pair yet again. But it's different up here. We wouldn't have this arrow known about. It wouldn't have any 6s. We were positing a 6 there. This is weird. Okay, well, I'm just going to mark up that if these were 6s under B, that would be a 6. And that would be a 6. So under B, we've got 6 always ending up there. Now, the final alternative is 6s in those two positions. So this is the C alternative. And then what? Well, there's no more 6s on the diagonal. So one of those two is a 6 and one of those two. I don't think there's anywhere for 6 in box, never mind about that stuff. Under this version, there's nowhere for 6 in box 3. That is bizarre. I think this is right. If those two are 6s, where's 6 going in box 3? It can't go here because you'd have a difference of 0 on the arrow. It can't go here because it would be in a circle and need a 7 on the arrow. So it can't exist in box 3 because the others are ruled out by Sudoku. So either A or B is right, and A and B both put a 6 into this cell. And I'm using that to say that is a 6 and this isn't. And then I've got a bunch of blue cells which don't have 6 in. So 6 is in one of these two now. Oh no, both A and B have 6 in this cell. Ah. Okay, well, A and B are different, but they both need a 6 here. So there's another bunch of cells that don't have 6 in. And that doesn't, because it's a circle. So one of these two does. What am I? Yeah. Okay, so one of the yellow ones does have a 6. It depends whether it's A or B, doesn't it? So can we extend B at all? No, I don't think we can, because those are both available for 6. So B requires 2 6s in that little X-wing. So can I make any progress from where we are now? That is the question. I mean, I've got digits in the grid. I'm quite pleased with that. Just 2 of them. 15 minutes in. I think this puzzle's mad. So I am pleased with that. I don't think I still know anything about this 5s thing. Okay, except, hang on, purple is important now. Yes, I do. The 5s thing's vital. Purple Yeah. Purple is the digit that goes with 6 down here. This cell is purple. Purple must be with the 6 in this box, because 6 minus n is always purple. Now purple has to be up here, not with a 6. So again, purple is in this position of being 5 or 4, and it can't be 5, because wherever purple is in box 4, 5 would be ruled off the diagonal fully. So purple is a 4. Bingo. Right. I mean, I'm sorry if that was painfully obvious to you. It really wasn't to me. 4 is up here, and it's got to be with 2. So this is definitely right. I don't know which of these is the 4, but it's a 2-4 pair. Now, that is, if that was a 6, in the A situation, we get that as being 2. It can't be 6, 6. In the B situation, I don't know what we get. Oh, 2 is now in one of those digits and one of those. 2 can't be here because it would either be with 2 on an arrow and putting 0 in the circle, or with 4 on an arrow putting 2 there and 2 there. So that's not 2. That's 2. 2's in one of those 3 cells, which doesn't feel very interesting at the moment, but at least we got a 2 in the grid. These are all the odd digits from 1, 3, 5. So are these. Unsurprisingly, the difference between even and odd is odd. Ah, and these two are both odd, so this is even. That's got to be right. The difference between 2 odds is 2 or 4. And this is now odd, 3 or 5. Doesn't have to have 6 on the arrow. Could it be 3, 6, 3? If B is a 6, this cell is 1 or 3. If A is a 6, this cell is 2, and that is impossible because of the 2-4 pair we now have. A is wrong. Let's get rid of the A's. B is right. Ah, this is clever. B is right, so that is a 6 and that is a 6. And we've found the 2 6's on the 2, 6 diagonal. That is 3 or 5. This is 1 or 3. This is 4 and is purple. I don't know quite what's happening to the colouring, but I might as well go with yellow for 6 and purple for 4 and just see where it goes. Let's get rid of all the blues. Purple for 4 is, well, I don't know, it's in one of those. It's in one of those too. And it's in, well, it's not there. That is an odd digit, 1, 3 or 5. So this is an odd digit, 1, 3 or 5. That can't be a 3, 3 pair, which it would have to be. So that is a 1, 5 pair. And this is a 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. This is a 1, 5 pair, so that's a 2 on the V. This is 4, that's 2, that's 4. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Now, 4 is the difference between 1 and 5, not 3 and anything. So that's become a 3 by Sudoku. And 4, oh no, 4 and this can't be 3. Because the difference between 4, no, it could be 3. It can't be 5. That's the difference between either 4 and 1 or 4. Yeah, it can't be 5, so it's 1. Yeah, that's got to be right. This is 5, that's 1, that's 5, that's 1, that's 5. 2 and 4 here. 4 is purple, isn't it? 2 doesn't get colour. It's nothing to me. This is a naked single. It sees 5, 6, 2 in its column, 4, 3 in its box. That's a 1. This must be a 5 for the difference arrow. I'm going to finish now, I think. That's my 6s done. Let's get rid of the colouring there and boost it there. I can probably put in the last 4s in colour. There we go. That's a 6, 2 and 3, 5 and 3, 1 and 5 and 2 and a 3 there. Bingo, that's brilliant. What a puzzle. That's so clever. I mean, there may be some way to do it without that A, B and C marking, but I don't see how you get into it without considering the 2 6s there. I loved how that 1 5 on that diagonal ruled out 5s from appearing in those cells. It's a very clever puzzle. What a twist indeed by Analytical Ninja. I hope you had fun with that and I hope you enjoyed it. And now I said obviously I wouldn't just leave the camera running, but we'll see if I do or not. Bye for now. and this is the real. Bye for now.